The weirdest freaking thing happened to us yesterday. We've been living in this flat for 6 years. And yesterday, something happened that I cannot fucking explain. So, I've been at work and my wife texted me, "Who was your guest on the podcast?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I didn't have any guests today." And she sent me a picture. Whose hat is it? And when I see this fucking photo, I was like, what do you mean? What hat? At some point I was thinking, maybe she's playing with me. Maybe she's making these stupid fucking jokes, you know. But when I text her back, what hat do you mean? She called me and I could hear in her voice, she's scared. Like, what do you mean? What hat? She was like, "Pete, when I came back from work, there was a hat laying on the middle of our kitchen." And she said, "I was thinking that you had some guest on the podcast. Maybe you was recording or something and, you know, someone just left it." What the fuck are you talking about? And then I was like, "Babe, is everything at home? Like, look around and can you see anything missing?" Because I was like, fuck, maybe someone broke in. Maybe, you know, she's just panicking, that's why she don't see things. I'm like, just look around, check if no one's at home first, and then look if we still got everything. Is the camera there, TV there, you know, laptop there? Check every room. And she was like, "I checked the rooms first thing." Because that was weird for me. So she checked all the rooms. She said, everything is fine, everything is in place. The weird thing is, there was a freaking hat on the middle of our kitchen. And it's not mine. The problem is we cannot explain that, okay? I started to think, maybe on the way out to work, I forget to close the door. But then I started to think, no. I remember when I was going to the car, I was like, did I close the door? So I went back and I double checked because I got a bit of a phobia about that. So I did close the door and I left 1:30 p.m. And I asked my wife, "What time did you get home?" She said 2 p.m. So there was literally a half an hour gap between when I left and she came back. What the fuck? The only explanation I can have, and I will check that in a second because I have to wait till 9 o'clock to call my landlord and ask him if by any chance he booked any a flat check or however they call it, you know, someone coming and assess how you live and, you know, because it's a rented flat. So maybe that is the only thing I can think of that this hat can belong to. And there is another thing which scares the hell fuck of me. I recently watched a lot of paranormal activities. I know that will sound weird, I know. But I watched a lot of Mindset TV, Sam and Colby, a lot of haunting, ghost hunting. And no, I do not believe that a fucking ghost put the hat on him and just fucking dropped the hat on the middle of the kitchen. But that made me thinking as well. What the fuck? I have no idea how the fuck. I'm gonna show you. Look, this hat was literally, look. That's our. Oh, you can't see much, but that's our kitchen, and the hat was here. Look at that. The hat was literally laying up there, and that's our kitchen. Look. That is the kitchen, and I'm sitting up there. That is the whole room. So tell me, how the fuck is that possible? Because I have no explanation. I tried to think of something. When I came back from work yesterday, I literally went to every single room, every single wardrobe. I checked our boiler room because in my head, the first scenario I created in my head was I left and someone broke in. But then they heard my missus coming in, and they hid somewhere, and they sitting until the night to come out and just, I don't know what I was thinking. Like that was the first scenario I created in my head. But that cannot be true because I checked everything, and like I'm like, to some degree I just start thinking maybe I was picking up shopping in the shop and there was a hat laying around somewhere and I just grabbed between two bags, or I don't know, that is the only explanation I've got. By simply somehow one of us three, me, my wife or my boy, just brought this hat here by the mistake and just left it up there. Because I cannot think of anything else. Another thing is the idea that I don't want to even think of, that someone broke in and just left it here, which fucking scares the hell out of me. Because if I think like someone been in my home, it just, someone can come in anytime, which freaks me out. I don't know. Tell me, maybe you got any ideas. What could possibly happen? Because I have no clue. And literally today, I have to go to work again. And I'm like, what should I do? Like, should I stay at home until my missus come? Or should I just go to work and hope nothing gonna happen? And we was literally laying in bed overnight and was thinking, what if we wake up and this hat will be moved from the place we left it again to the middle of the kitchen? Which even now gives me chills. Like, I literally got my hair just standing by thinking of this. Because I have no explanation for that. Please tell me if you can think of something. Because I can't. Anyway, if you know the owner of this hat, please let me know.